Hi everyone, my name's Electric Donkey and today we are once again back on the No Man's Sky project we are doing. So first off, I'd like to apologise if the quality is a little bit different or better or worse, I don't know. Share your own feedback. Share feedback, I know, something like that. As to what you think about it. Basically I've gone back to open broadcast studio thing because the video was being a bit weird and didn't really want to work, but I don't know, maybe it's better, maybe it's worse, who knows. But anyway, we are once again doing this thing now. If you remember in the last video we had some weird kind of issues going on. Unfortunately I couldn't reproduce them, but you see there, they're not coming up on there. They are in our inventory but they're not coming up in our slots. So your thing at the moment should look a little bit like this one, and this doesn't really work. It's not far off, to be honest, it's pretty close, but there's a few other things that are missing. So the first thing, actually yours will look like that. Now if we run that, that should come up now with something similar to what your game would look like at the moment, with the lovely coded errors we've put in on purpose, obviously. So if we mine this, yep, first one works fine. Second one starts to get a bit weird, and then you can see here it starts to get very peculiar and not right really. And yeah, that should be something that you have currently, something looking like that. And yeah, I've managed to fix that, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and it wasn't really that difficult considering it was some really simple things that I'd missed out. So first off, our global inventory, if you remember when we set up the inventory, the number 1 is for our count and number 0 is for our actual object name. So we're going to want 0 for that, or our ID rather, not our object name. So we'll have to change them over quickly. Another thing that is actually quite important that we need to do is in the inventory we need to -1 to counteract the addition of 1, if you like, because the IDs technically in the inventory start at 1 whereas our actual IDs start at 0. So to counteract that we just need to -1 there and there. Don't forget to change, whenever you change something there, change it in this bit as well. Otherwise it'll come up with some weird kind of things there. Okay, last thing to do is we need to set the move here back to equal true. Now the problem with this is if we loop through this 7 times, if any one of these equals the, if any one of these equals the item we're trying to add, then it will set move to false, and then move will be set to false for all of this, right up until we get back over to there. So the problem with that is it means that for every single slot it thinks move is false. Truth is, you only want that for the first one. So if you put this 1, 2 curly brackets down under there, move equals true, it basically resets it, and yeah, now it should hopefully all work nice and simply. So if we go ahead, mine our thing, yep, that one's worked, and mine some wood, and yep, the wood has worked. If we mine another dirt, as you can see, there will change there. Now that's all well and good for the moment. One thing I'd just like to add though, before we fully start the block placement side of things. Now at the moment we have these, but as you can see in here we've got 3 dirt and 1 wood. Here we've just got the wood, we know we've got some dirt, we know we've got some wood, we don't know how many though. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little circle in the corner, and in the circle we're going to have the count. Okay. So to do this, I'm going to first let my cat outside. There we go, sorry about that. Right now, anyway, as I was saying, we need to set a few things up. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to set the colour. We are going to set the colour to see white, and then here we're going to set it back to black before we forget. Now I think draw set color isn't really a thing anymore. Yeah, I don't think it is anymore, but you can still use it, so yeah, oh well, let's go with it. So what we're going to want to do inside of this is we're going to draw a circle, and the way we're going to do this is pretty simple. We're just going to have a guess at it realistically. So we're saying here, we know that that is our middle point. So if we take that for our x, and let's say -10, put it back to there, and then for our y we'll take 35 and we'll say add 10. Okay, alright, we'll give that a go. We'll see the radius is 5 and the outline is false. Okay, let's give this a run and see how this goes. It might look a little bit weird because those variables, those numbers I just put in were a complete guess. Yeah, you can see it kind of looks alright actually. I mean, it's not obviously in the right place. We could do with moving a little bit that way and a little bit up, but you get the idea how that's going to work. So let's just quickly go and try and sort that out. So we wanted to move it a little bit further right, so we're going to say add 5 there, and we wanted to move it a little bit further up, so I believe up in GameMaker is less, so we're going to say 40. Okay, this may or may not, this will either move it closer or further away, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, I guess, nope, that is definitely closer. Okay, I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3 more either side. Let's, in fact, probably should have done this beforehand. Yeah, it is actually in the right hand corner anyway, so we could, technically speaking, just set these to equal the exact same as they were before. 40 and 35. Okay, so well, let's just leave it at that. We now know that will set it in the corner. Now the last thing we want to do is draw text. This is where it gets slightly tricky, because here what we want to do is we want to say draw the text. In fact, we have to add something in the inventory thing here. So in here we're going to say global dot slots 1 I equals global dot inv 1 I minus 1. Okay, that'll basically just set the slots count to equal our inventory count. Okay, so in the draw slots now, we'll go to this, we'll be able to say where we want to draw it, so we'll draw it there, and then 35, and the string we're going to want to draw is global dot slots 1 I, so that'll be the count we draw in. So if we quickly give that a run, now fingers crossed it'll draw it all nicely in one hand corner and it'll work. Well, okay, it's not quite there yet, but let's give it a go, see if it works. So the numbers are drawing there, but for some reason the numbers aren't drawing the right numbers. Numbers aren't drawing the... I don't know what I'm saying. It's not drawing the right thing. So, whoops. Let's go back into here. Somewhere in this that doesn't like. Okie dokie. We don't want that -1. That will probably be it. Because, you know, if we're minusing 1 from the count, that's not really going to work, is it? Realistically. Yep, there you go. Okay, so it's gone up to 1, and then because we put it in the wrong place, it's not going to go up anymore. So it will go up to 1 and then it will not go up anymore. So let's go in the inventory thing, here. And now we're saying we want it to go there and also there. Okay, I'll go back to that afterwards if it works to show you guys what exactly I've done there, because it's a bit quick, but we'll only do it if it works. It's not much point otherwise. Yeah, it did work there. So let's just mine a few more just to prove it does in actual fact work. Yep, that is saying 3. Let's mine a few of these, so we'll do 2 of these. And that should go to 2. Yep, and just to show, we've got 3 dirt, 2 wood, 3 dirt, 2 wood. It's a bit hard to make out, but it is there. Okay, so let me just quickly go back and show you what we did. In both of these if statements, here and here, we've got the same thing. So in here we've got that one, which I've put in before, but in here we've got this, which is exactly the same as that, par one thing, which is that there, which instead of being II is XX. Okay. So that is now working. We'll refine that a little bit in the next one, but for now that's going to be it. If you like the video, remember to like, subscribe, always do what you guys want to do, and I'll talk to you in the next one.